Oh, fire Mario. Oh, fire Chris.
Come on, you're not the scared guy anymore. Yes, I am! People don't change!
Oh, the pulling. Look at all the new environments.
There's the problem. Hey. It's all right.
Is that? Yes.
Yes.
Oh. Ugly fish.
Who's this?
Come on.
So some dinosaur just shows up and he's now part of the group. Cool.
Yeah, this is Yoshi. Oh, the T-Rex from Mario Odyssey. That's awesome. Hope he gets a mustache now.
Greetings to all you groundhog, gophering, gadget, greedy gobblers. This is episode 46 of the Geeqoid podcast, and we are oddly recording at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday because we just watched the new trailer for the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and I gotta say, I was very, very pleased, and I am even more excited for this movie than I was for the first one.
Yeah, we did our. I don't know if we're gonna publish it or not, but we did our first React video. Johnny on the spot during the live event. Erik couldn't talk because he had to share his audio, but
Yep.
I did my best to vamp.
But what do you think of it? I mean, obviously they had the build up to Yoshi. But,
yeah. So I have one word, and that's Yoshi.
I mean, as someone who is a diehard Yoshi fan, I'm really pumped. I think the comedic relief throughout the entire trailer was spot on. It was hitting real good, and I think this movie is it's gonna blow the first one out of the water.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and I don't remember now, even though we just watched it, but Toad's reaction to Yoshi at the end of the movie or at the end of the trailer was great.
Yeah, it was perfect. I mean, it's not too much to say aside from go check out the trailer if you have not seen it yet.
A little bit. There's if anybody knows the dinosaur from Mario Odyssey, where he can throw Cappy and take over certain things and creatures, that dinosaur is in there, which is crazy. They're doing a lot of like desert-y looking scenes, and I saw them wearing ponchos, which are also reminiscent to Mario Odyssey. So even though this is Mario Galaxy, they're definitely hitting many other worlds from the other video games. It's really
it's 100%.
Neat, Mom. I'm here for it.
Speaking of trailers, a trailer for a live-action He-Man dropped.
Masters of the Universe.
Yes, and I'm gonna have to hand it over to you because I haven't watched it yet.
You still didn't watch it?
Sad
Erik,
panda.
it was your homework. Your homework was to sit on the couch and watch a 2-minute, long video.
I know.
It looks great. It's, from what we can tell, the plot, because nobody wanted him to be in the real world like in the last movie. Unfortunately, he's in the real world. But if everybody remembers the comics and the cartoons, his mom was originally an astronaut who landed on that planet and then married the king and became queen. She is human. So whatever's going on, whatever war, most likely with Skeletor, because it's the only bad guy out there, she sent him to live in our world. But oh no, he kind of remembers because he wasn't like a baby like Superman. He's looked like he was like somewhere between 8 and 12. And hey, he's got to come back and he's got to save the world. And there are something like 14 heroes and villains from the comics and the cartoons. Ram Man, who was in like one episode, they just pulled him out of nowhere and they're like, yeah, you're a character now.
Alrighty.
The staff look great. The actors who are playing all the characters look really great. Idris Elba, I totally forgot he was going to be in this movie. And I just love Idris Elba. And he's going to be Man-at-Arms, which is super cool. Need a good daddy figure. He's a good daddy figure.
Role for him. I mean, we just started season 2 Hijack, and it's already been really great.
Sometime I need to watch that.
Yeah. All right. Do we want to get to the really the topic of the hour? And this has been blowing up across all the feeds. RAM prices, SSD prices, everything is skyrocketing. The sky is falling, and no new computers for anybody for 2026 and the foreseeable futures is kind of what it sounds like. So in case you've been living under a rock,
or
AI,
right now under snow,
yeah, in the Midwest here, AI build out has just taken over all of the resource demands from the whole computing world. So NVIDIA has dialed up production of their chips to 11, and kind of an afterthought in all this production is the amount of RAM that is required to put into these systems. And so now you have multi-year back orders for DDR5 and I think DDR6 as well. Anybody who's looking to build a new PC is seeing that their RAM prices have gone up between 200 and 500%, and it's just becoming unfeasible.
Crazy, man. That's so crazy
to build a new computer. And then even NVIDIA has canceled certain production lines of the 5 series, and they've basically said no more cash rebates on MSRP pricing for their partners. And so you've seen the prices of the 5 series GPUs go up 20% overnight, and some are even doubling. So if you're looking to get a high-end 5 series, good luck not paying an arm and a leg. And even being able to find them in the first place is going to be difficult.
Does NVIDIA just have the market right now with
not
only
they're
consumers, but also like contractors and government?
Yeah, I mean, so they're the number one producer of all these AI chips, and everybody is scrambling to get on their list. And so what they're doing is they're diverting production from their typical GeForce line, so all the consumer grade GPUs, over to their data center products. And yeah, it's basically that's where
screw the consumer, go for the commercial.
Well, yeah, I mean, you say screw the consumer, but I mean, from a business standpoint, it makes sense. They're in the business of making money, not making gamers happy, unfortunately.
Sure.
But it's going to be tough, and we're seeing these kind of the second order effects now, with Nintendo pausing Switch 2 production until Q3 of this year. PlayStation or Sony is saying the PlayStation 6 probably won't roll out for a few more years as a result. Which
crazy. You know this is also affecting Xbox and their hybrid thing.
Oh yeah,
their console PC, and then we were just talking about Valve. This is totally going to be halting anything they were planning. If it comes out this year, I'll be shocked.
So that's what you say, but I still think they're going to hit their launch window, because the people at Valve are pretty smart, and I'd like to think that they already secured a sizable amount of RAM for production, because like you don't just piece these things together on a weekend. Like it's a huge timeline, a huge development process. So I think they put contracts in place to secure said RAM. If they didn't, well then most likely we will see a delay in the launch. But TBD. We only got like a month to wait, really.
EBD. Oh, God bless you, Valve. You hang in there, buddy.
Yeah. So it's a crazy time. I'm just glad I'm sitting on my 128 gigs of DDR5 in my system, and that's gonna hold out for the next half a decade probably.
Sad panda.
But I guess still talking about hardware, Apple has said they're hosting an event this week.
Yeah, it was accidentally leaked by a creative YouTuber.
Well, I don't think it was leaked. I mean, it's a press event.
I don't think he was supposed to share it. It was supposed. I think it's a very small niche group of just content creators, and it was supposed to be more intimate, and then have them hype up the creator suite. Allegedly, the new Mac 5, Mac 5, the M5 Max with hopefully new cellular technology in the laptops.
Ooh, okay. So I'm kind of like on the fence right now. Do I just jump in, get an M5? Hopefully Rachel isn't listening because don't really have the funds for that. But I could really use a new laptop because I'm so frustrated with my current PC one. But part of me is like, do I wait for the next gen, which has this new touchscreen allegedly and M6?
Yeah, which will be 2 nanometer.
Yeah, but it seems like a long time to wait, and who knows what's going to happen with prices, with all this RAM kerfluffle.
People are already very impressed with the normal M5 and the upgrades they did for a lot of LLM and AI, which is also helping with like any graphical thing you're doing, Blender to, movies. So I don't know if you need to. And then if you don't, then I said earlier, now you're in the ecosystem that then next year you could just trade it in, get $500 to $700 well, for that, it would probably be like $1,000 or $1,200 and then pay the difference. Then you wouldn't have to pay 2 to 3 all over again.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not in the habit of trading my machines that frequently. If anything, I would definitely sit on it and use it.
No, but I agree with you with the M6, but I see the need now, and then what advantages the M5 have to get you rolling. Just like this M4 is great, but if I can trade in to get the M5 for that extra graphics and just easier use for YouTube and video editing, then I'd like to at least look at it and ponder it once it's released, hopefully in the springtime.
That's fair. But yeah, we will see what is announced this coming week at the Apple event. Yeah, fun times. It's been a jam-packed news cycle this week.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere.
Yeah. But you know who's also making the headlines, and not for good reasons, is Ubisoft. So we've been following the downfall of Ubisoft over the past year, and things just continue to get worse. So they've shuttered studios left and right after they unionize. The stock price has absolutely cratered and is now trading at, I believe, under $1 per share. Meaning it will, in short order, be delisted from the stock exchange if they don't turn things around. Yeah, it's even the developers themselves are selling their stock. I wouldn't say revolting, but basically quitting en masse, and just to be at Ubisoft right now just does not seem like a good career move. So I don't know how they're going to attract any new talent. And on top of all of this, there's a new Prince of Persia game that was in development for, I don't know, 5-6 years.
Yeah, it was supposed to be released like this month. I think this week.
And they just killed it. They just 86'd the entire project. So allegedly, not allegedly, the game was being developed by a Ubisoft India studio. And then they were like, okay, this is absolutely hot garbage. So they brought it over back to the States, or not to the States, to Ubisoft Montreal to quote unquote fix it. And they just threw their hands up and said, it's unfixable.
My God, that's crazy, dude. That's even worse. Like, you're trying to make a game and then you're not doing a good job. Good on you.
Yeah, it's a travesty, really, because Prince of Persia is one of the OG properties, like from the very, very beginning of gaming. And like personally, I'm friends with a young woman who married the creator of Prince of Persia. So
I don't remember who developed the side scroller platformer that came out a year or two ago. That was one of the games actually I was gonna pick up for iOS and iPad OS because it did do good and it did get good ratings.
So TBD on where Ubisoft is headed, because it's like they just went through like some sort of restructuring, and it clearly have not come out the other side very well. So
I think somebody said that they wanted to go back to or focus more on live subscription, and I mean, good luck on you. I that was something we used to hear about back in 2012, 2014. Like, okay, sure, if that works for you, but
yeah,
if
you
got to make a good game.
I heard something too that their Watch Dogs franchise is completely dead. Like they've halted all production on that. That is a cool IP that will not be resurrected, unfortunately.
So are they going to just put all their money into Division 3? Okay,
maybe. I mean, it seems, I don't know what else they do. I mean, they probably have another Assassin's Creed in the works, I would imagine.
Don't they have Splinter Cell too? They haven't done a Splinter Cell in a long time.
Yeah. So who knows what their master stroke is going to be to save the company, but they gotta hunker down and refocus and make some huge changes to right the ship.
Yeah, absolutely.
But in terms of developers and not being in the news for good reasons,
this is the most positive to negative podcast episode.
Yeah, EA's Saudi-led buyout has some Democrats in Congress nervous that they might do more layoffs, close some studios, and then who knows, maybe follow through on some anti-labor practices. So I believe a cohort of 40 or so Democrats is launching an investigation or calling for an investigation into the Saudi buyout, or go private, if you will. TBD on what actually happens there. I mean, we know.
Yeah, I'm really curious about the anti-labor practices and what that is behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'm wondering, is it tied to their AI efforts? Like they're trying to replace humans and just go all in on AI and use that to make the games. But I feel like this is just a bit of showboating on the Democrats' part. Like, I don't see this investigation really going anywhere. It's a game company. Does anybody really care?
Yeah, that was nothing.
We
like,
care, but
why are 40 or so Democrats all of a sudden interested in this buyout?
Yeah, I feel like there's better uses of time than to this investigation. But yeah, we'll see. What else do we have on the docket today?
I think one more Apple conversation. So Bloomberg has, and a few other people have reported that there's going to be 2 iterations of a next gen Siri, one coming out this summer and then one coming out during iOS 27, so this fall. And it sounds like some of the things we wanted Siri to do that they promised accidentally too soon will start happening this summer, where it can look at actually what's going on your phone and help you in that way. And then their big push is everybody, wants some sort, or they're forcing some sort of chat bot on us. I kind of use it. I don't really, but I might be out of not the norm. But 27 is allegedly going to have more chatbot AI functionality.
Yeah. And a little bit of structure change over at Apple. Apparently, Craig Federighi is leading the new AI strategy at Apple. So he's the guy with the hella cool hair.
Yeah.
During all the Apple events. So pretty cool news there. If anybody's going to do a good job, I think it's going to be him.
Oh, yeah, totally. And then who's the rumored successor to Cook? He is now basically like Cook, I think, is starting to guide him into looking at the software and the hardware, creation, production, distribution. So that's more signs that Cook is slowly moving back to his proposed being on the board of directors instead of CEO. So
let's call it what it is: retirement.
Very rich retirement.
Yeah. So I mean, Tim Cook has done a great job shepherding Apple through a crazy couple decades. But I mean, here's the thing: he was a supply chain guy, and he turned Apple into a incredible global supply chain company that is executing and firing on all cylinders. But with that, I think they might have missed a step along the way in terms of ingenuity and new products,
creativity.
Yeah. And so I think there's maybe an opportunity for the new CEO who doesn't have a background in supply chain, but has a background in actually making hardware. And so
yeah,
I think that's an exciting new chapter for Apple that we'll get to see come to fruition in the very near future. So TBD.
Yeah, there are a lot of analysts and other people who are just as excited. Like, I think his name's John Turnus. I said it like a few times, but I think his name is John Turnus, and they're all he's got like thumbs up from everybody in all markets and all industries.
And one other thing I just remembered, Bungie, if you recall, they delayed their marathon launch indefinitely as they kind of went back to working out some kinks after some early feedback. But now we have a new release date coming in March. The marathon is coming in March, and that caught me off guard. And I got to say, the new trailers look sick.
I thought it was closed indefinitely because of, was it art assets?
Oh, they had one contractor who stole like 1 or 2 assets from another game or something like that, and I mean, that was just a
so it wasn't that big. It wasn't like the entire everything you're seeing is like somebody else's art assets. Okay, well that's good because I liked how it looked. That like I thought the color and the style they were putting on that game is extremely unique and really nice. Kind of gave me a combo of Evolve and Call of Duty or Battlefield. It's really cool looking with a little bit of like a Overwatch kind of feel too. Kind of a nice blend of everything I like when it comes to that first person and capture the flag and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but they're obviously keeping the gunplay and the combat very reminiscent of Halo and Destiny, which is I mean what made Bungie as a studio. So I will absolutely be checking that out in a month or two when it drops.
That reminds me, this is like old news. So when going to Metroid Prime 4, Nintendo moved, I think, from Bandai back to Retro Studios, who did the other 3 iterations of Metroid Prime. They had a whole new team by this point, 10 or so years or whatever. And that whole team were like ex-Halo developers. So that's why when I finally play and you play Metroid Prime 4, it's probably the closest Metroid will ever be to feeling like a Halo game. It's a lot more linear. It's not as Metroid Go Get Lost, which is what's happening to me a lot in remaster. So I have to keep getting online to figure out where I'm supposed to go, and which is fun. I mean, that's part of the Metroid. So it's a little bit more linear, not as much go figure it out kind of stuff, but I'm still excited. But yeah, that's why maybe the ratings aren't as good for this Metroid, but there's a reason, and it's it's not bad. It is what it is.
Yeah. A few other things too in the gaming world. Microsoft had a bit of a developer direct.
Oh my God. I almost forgot.
Don't worry, I wasn't going to let this one slip because I am super pumped for the new Fable game, and it looks like what they've done with this one is kind of go back to the roots of the very first Fable and kind of really execute on Peter Molyneux's original vision. And man, I can't wait to sink my teeth into it because the comedic elements seem right on point. Some of the stuff they were showing in the trailer too is they have these like directorial cuts during some of the gameplay that is similar to what you see in The Office, and it just the comedic elements, I think they're really dialing that up, and I think that's one of probably the more undersold parts of it is just how funny of a game the original Fable was and how they're doubling down on that, and then also just all the expansive ways that they're building out the universe that you get to play in, and it looks beautiful to boot. So
some of the ridiculous things I heard were like you could marry anybody, and if you can have children with all of those people, and then you can divorce all of those people. Each person is going to be their own unique program, whatever person in the game. They will all act individually. It sounds like such a huge undertaking.
Which is really what has been like a guiding light for games for such a long time. Like, let's create this universe where every actor is their own individual entity. So if they're able to deliver on it, then that would be quite the accomplishment. So,
and it's a British team who I think helps with the Forza line. So making like these beautiful backdrops and scenes that, just it looks like goes for miles and, forever. And so I am curious. They have the pedigree to make, this beautiful world and have it all generated on the spot. It's not going to be procedurally generated. This is what it is. It's 5 times bigger than any of the previous Fables, so it's gigantic. But they've never done combat. The trailers look good, but I'm curious, like, how a team who's done more of like a landscape, which is beautiful, and we'll talk about Forza in a minute. But I'm optimistic to see how they combat something that is new to that team. I do love that they chose a studio that is British. So this humor is going to be extremely British, just like all the other Fables were in the past. So that's really cool.
Yeah. Also during that developer showcase was Forza 6.
Holy God. I am not a car guy, racing video game guy, but this looks incredible.
Yeah. So in case you missed it, it's taking place in Japan. So I guess all the U.S. drivers are going to have to get used to driving on the left side of the road.
I thought about that. Yeah.
So that's slated to come on May 19th. But yeah, it does look absolutely gorgeous. It's really going to be pushing the Xbox Series X, S, and TP to the absolute limits.
And PlayStation 5, because that was
Yes.
announced that it is also coming, I think, day and date to PS5. Xbox is not messing around. They're keeping that whole.
Well,
it'll
it's not
we can
coming
make money.
on May 19th, but it will be coming later this year.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what I thought was really neat about this, if you know car culture, Japan has kept a very strong, like, underground car culture for, like, Fast and Furious, and then it never went away. Tokyo Drift, that horrible movie, did show off, like, what they did then, and they still do today. Like, I remember in the 2000s doing, car meets. It was not a car show, but, we would all get together and see how somebody installed this and what upgrades they had. And, hopefully I could copy and paste if I had the money, or the mechanic who can figure it out. And
I mean, that was part
can
of
do stuff like that.
Part of my youth, I would say, growing up in the Detroit area. Friday nights, I would go out, get my Jeep Cherokee, but I had friends who had souped up Mustangs, and we're like, there's just so many subwoofers in the trunk that they would.
Yes.
If unless you put the windows down, you would suffocate because the way the air moved. So I'm cool to check that out. Like, it is probably one of the things that I miss about games like Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo is a great racing simulator, but it doesn't have that casual kind of fun vibe that games like Need for Speed had.
Yeah,
So-
they're really. What's something else? Compound building looked astronomical. Like, I was thinking like a garage, and then it's just a load screen, and you go into the separate thing. But the way they're showing how you can level part of Japan and make this gigantic, like, it looks like a Hollywood studio after you're done. It's crazy. I also like too that, going back to the culture there, when you start the game, you start as like a tourist or a beginner, and so you have to build up your reputation and build up your races along with these other people to then gain further races and more dangerous drifting situations around Mount Fuji and stuff like that. Can we also mention there was a very brief glimpse of some type of, I don't want to say Gundam, but giant robot feet?
We shall see. I'm excited. It's been a while since I've played a racing game. Like, I played through a ton of Gran Turismo, but like I said, it's like it's a racing simulator, not kind of this open world game even. So I'm pretty pumped.
I think the game starts with over 500 cars. That's not like future DLCs. It's starting with that many. It's nuts, man. It's crazy.
Gosh.
And it looks gorgeous. There was one scene where they're drifting, and there are these beautiful blossoms, pink blossoms. God, oh, that's so pretty, dude. It's so good.
The cherry blossoms.
Another area where, like, they're driving down this road, and there's like 20 feet of snow on each side. I was like, this is a real place. Like, I just want to go to some of these places and drive and check them out.
I mean, speaking of snow, I guess Kamchatka over in Russia got hit with 15 feet.
Holy God. We're like in this emergency blizzard
Oh
ice
my
storm
God, 12
thing going on.
inches.
15 feet.
I didn't even know, like, I thought it was just all those pictures I saw were just AI generated, but nope. Turns out.
Good
But yeah,
luck.
I mean,
stay warm.
Yeah. The first half of this year is just looking incredible for gaming. I mean, between Fable, Forza Horizon 6,
A
Marathon.
new marathon. What's a new oh man, what's the third person action game that is very popular? Gears of War. That's coming out. That's supposed to be a prequel. And it so far looks pretty good. Everybody's talking about Resident Evil 9 or Requiem.
And I think we're starting to hit the period during the console cycle where these games are really taking advantage of all the horsepower under the lid. And
yeah, it's taken 5-6 years, but here we go.
Yeah. No,
And then
this
now
is
with this RAM and SSD shortage and huge spikes, you know what? We're finally at a time to see what these things can do. So, you know what?
Yeah.
Push it for another 2 years.
Yeah, and I think with the announcements in the news that the next gen of consoles are going to be delayed by a number of years, that just gives developers all the more reason to double down on the current set of hardware and just really execute and not be distracted with, what new thing is coming and can we start playing with Unreal Engine 6? It's like, no, just focus. Do your best work with what you have and don't speculate on the future. Just get to work. And
hopefully we won't have to wait so long because they've had the hardware, they've had the dev kits for years now. So hopefully, at least for these 2 years, maybe we'll see a somewhat quicker life cycle.
Yeah,
Or
we may not
turnaround
even
cycle for
get
development.
a PlayStation 6 until 2030, if you're thinking
You
about
think
it.
that late? Like 2028, maybe? Or at least maybe an announcement 2028.
I mean, it was
I
going to
think
be
they were originally
2027 at the earliest.
Earliest, Eric.
Yeah, so 2028, push it to 2029. And at that point, why don't you just round up and just go 2030? That's my thinking. We'll see. I don't know how long this AI-driven RAM deficit or drought is going to drag out for.
Analysts are saying like it is going to plateau and it's going to plateau soon, but soon being like 2 years.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing. There's this the AI wild card. Who knows what's going to change in the next 2 years for literally any technology or any social norms, or like the landscape is shifting so quickly. I just can't predict the future anymore because I used to be able to. Yeah, exciting times. Man, I just want to see what Apple announces and clear up my schedule so I can play some games.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what Apple has using Google's framework, their Gemini, and then allegedly Gemini 3 into the future, and then building their own. And then I'm curious too how on the back end of companies, this is going to replace chat, and then sooner or later they won't possibly have to pay Google annually $1 billion, or maybe that's just now a new deal. But like I said in another episode, like Google gives them like 30 every year, so it's just a trade.
Yeah. It's at this point, it's been a long time coming for Apple to fix Siri.
They really love that car, man. They really want to do something cool with that car. So little too soon, guys. We're still trying to figure out autonomous driving, which was shown at CES, but yeah, okay. We're still a ways away.
Yeah. All right. Anything to slip in here at the end before we wrap?
There's a lot of snow and it's very cold. That's it. It's in the morning, so coffee and English black tea.
Yeah, I'm gonna go pour myself a cup of Joe. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that favorite button, and stay tuned for our newsletter, which is dropping this Friday.
Yeah. Do you have a link to the other way they can follow the email?
Yeah, just go to geekoid.com.
Haha. Geeqoid.com.
That's with a Q, not a K. I know people get confused. It's a Geeqoid.
It took I remember that conversation. It took many days for us to come up with that, and then that be the spelling and title for this little shenanigans that we're doing.
This little venture. Yeah, and I'm super pumped. I think in the next couple of weeks we'll be able to unveil some little guys, our mascots, if you will.
They're so cute, dude.
I'm so pumped.
They're so cute.
I have all these ideas on how I want to animate them and turn them into just I'm gonna blow your mind. Just give me a couple weeks,
And that will be the new logo.
Yeah.
That'll be what you see when you
instead of
pull
just
up
a
Apple or
G.
Spotify or whatever. G. Or a movie theater. You'll see.
Yeah.
You'll see
It's getting a little
our
tired.
own.
All right. Thank you for tuning in. We love you. From myself, Erik, and
Jarrad, stay safe, stay warm.
yes, bundle up. Toodaloo.
End of transmission.